right there, hello. Nice to see you right here, live and direct. We are live with Christmas sound effects galore coming up on this show. It's going to be so much fun. I hope you're going to stay with me as we generate sound effects just in time for the big day itself. Not too far away. So I've got my jingle bells out. I got this one, and I got this one, and I've got a little bit of reverb. Ho, 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 ho. And you'll see it's also snowing behind me. So I thought I was going to practice live, first of all, using my sleigh bells to something like this. This is an easy way to make a Christmas-style jingle. Ready for this? I'm doing this live, by the way.
And more. This is Mike Russell on musicradiocreative.com.
Nice. Really cool stuff. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's lose the reverb for a second and say hello to you. Yes, we are live everywhere, including YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Just got in at the last moment on YouTube. There was some issue starting the stream up, but just at the very last minute, it enabled me to push the Go Live button. So I'm glad to say good day to everyone on YouTube Live. Now, just remember, if you do mention anything in the comments wherever you're watching right now, whether that be YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or Periscope, I can see all of your comments and I can draw them in and you can really feel a part of this show. So if it's your first time here, feel free to post a comment, ask me a question during this live stream. That's what I'm here for, to help you out every single weekday. We do this show Monday to Friday live from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. UK time. Just convert that to your time zone and figure it out. But you're very, very welcome if you're new. If you happen to be a voiceover artist, maybe a podcaster wanting to learn a few tips on how to, well, today we're going to be jingling up your your sound today with various different techniques in both Adobe Audition, and also I'm going to show you some of the instruments in Logic Pro that we can record into Audition to make these Christmas sound effects and jingles. So that's coming up. You might be a DJ, radio presenter, radio station manager. You might run a business that relies on audio. That could be anything from like in-house audio streams through your own internal radio station, or perhaps you like on-hold messages, or you need to create a really cool audio advert for your business that goes out on a radio station. That's what I'm here for, to help you sound your best. So a big warm welcome, and shall we get into it? I think we should. Music Radio Creative. That's the name.
Your audio production hour starts now. MusicRadioCreative.com.
That's right, your audio production hour does start now. We've been a little thin recently on the ground on phone calls coming in. I always like to take a live phone call or two when I'm live streaming, and I just leave the lines open. I don't expect a call, but if you want to call, there is a direct dial number that will get you through to me live on the stream. Only when I'm live. If you're watching the replay, you just get a voicemail where you can leave a message. But this is the number. It's open now. Feel free to call it if you like.
415-800-1055.
And remember, add +1 if you are outside the United States to get through. Love to hear from you.
MusicRadioCreative.com.
YouTube channels at youtube.com/musicradiocreative. Subscribe. Big one tomorrow for live streamers. You've requested this in the Music Radio Creative community. I usually focus on audio, but so many of you wanted to know my settings and guide on how to use OBS Studio, which is what I use to live stream across so many different platforms. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing that on the live stream for 1 whole hour. I'll show you my settings, how I get out to YouTube and everywhere else, some of my best tools and resources. It's going to be a really good action-packed show tomorrow. So if you want that, head over to my YouTube page at youtube.com/musicradiocreative and just click Set Reminder. You'll get the reminder on and you'll be notified when that show goes live, whatever time zone you're in. So first of all, how was I generating those Christmas sleigh bells? Because I know at this time of year, everyone wants sleigh bells in their jingles, in everything. So the quickest way to do it is over here in Logic. Logic is a Mac-only program, but it's fantastic for generating music and editing music. And you'll need to go into the sounds in your library over here, which you pop out like this, just hitting that little folder button there. Go into percussion, orchestral kit. Okay. Oh, sorry. There's another one at the root. So the root is orchestral, followed by percussion, followed by orchestral hit or kit. And then you need to find the right notes on here. So I think it's E2 gives you a sleigh bell. There's one sleigh bell. Notice the lovely decay on that sleigh bell if you hold the note down. If you let it go, it's just a very short. But if you hold it down, you get a lovely... You just hear those little jingle bells just dying away. And there's an alternative one here. So take your pick, and we can start recording these in because there's quite a few nice things just on this orchestral kit. So let's go over to Audition here. I'll get rid of that untitled waveform, and we'll start a brand new multi-track session using my Adobe Audition presets here, so we can maybe record in some voices later. Where's that saving? Let's save it into our downloads folder for the moment. Here we go. Click OK. And by the way, if you're interested in getting this template to up your game in Adobe Audition, just go to mrc.fm/presets to check it out. Now I'm going to add in a couple of extra tracks here, track 1 and 2. And my input is going to be the stereo input. Oh, hang on. Need to change that from Scarlett to, let's have a look here. Audio hardware, currently selected as the Scarlett. So let's go to the Soundcraft Signature 12. That's my mixing desk, like so. Allows me to record various different things. Now we're looking good. Just make sure these are assigned to the correct channels. So audio is going to play back nicely. So when I want to record audio in from Logic, I just select the stereo channels 9 and 10. Stereo channel 9 and 10. Arm that for recording. Now if I play, you see those jingle bells registering there. So let's pop them in. With all the lovely decay there. See how that dies out on the meters. And this one. But that's not it. I also discovered, so that's around the E2 mark on your keyboard. But if you go way up here to the next octave and you hit these sharp or flat keys, depending on the way you look at it, you can get little twinkly sounds like this. Oh, so beautiful. And that's all available in the orchestral kit inside the orchestral percussion menu. Here's another one. Sounds kind of similar to me, but again, we'll use these later on for mixing up jingles. What else have we got? I could do welcome to the show. Oh, that's very nice. Not that Christmassy, though. Oh, there's another one going up. That's very nice. Hang on, let me play that again and hold down the key. Lovely. Very Christmassy. That goes on forever, doesn't it? Still hasn't stopped. Yeah, now it stopped. Or you do the clip-clop of a donkey. Again, all available inside the orchestral kit, which you'll find inside Orchestral Percussion and Orchestral Kit. Some really good stuff in there. I haven't explored it all in detail, but I did notice the sleigh bells. And the twinkly things, which we like as well. So that's all available. Another thing you might like is, and that's in the same menu, are these tubular bells. They're quite good for things like this. So you can do something like that, or... So very, very nice for Christmassy style jingles. Again, we can just hold a note like a middle C. Don't know how we use that, but it's worth recording it in, isn't it? Tubular bells there, very, very handy indeed. Anything else in here? No, I think we'll go to something else now. Again, just going to roll through a lot of these different ideas. Here, I'm going to use Alchemy. Alchemy is another advanced synthesizer for Logic, which can generate some pretty cool stuff. And earlier on, I was just playing with the smoky bells. So we could, no, maybe that's not the best thing. Let's go for, I did find something called Twinkles. Let's find Twinkles, because that was very nice. The Twinkles preset. Maybe use that somehow. And there was a fizzy bell as well. Let's find the fizzy bell in here. Fizzy bell keys. So start off like that. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Or you could do it really anyway, using any synthesizer or any instrument, but I think this is quite cool. So we've got fizzy bell keys there available to use inside Alchemy. Something else I wanted to have a play with, and I'm just going to do this now and then go back to my Adobe Audition recording. Where did I find this earlier? Oh yes, drum kit. I think you can really pick anything. Let's pick Liverpool drum kit, and we'll go for, where was it? I think it was A3 on the keyboard. Yes, that's right, a nice cymbal. And I don't think it matters really what kind of drum kit you pick for the cymbal. So we have the Liverpool cymbal. There's a Manchester cymbal, slightly different. We could go for Portland, Oregon. Nice different cymbals. And the reason I wanted to get a few cymbals, let's get one more from Sunset maybe. There we go. We can probably layer them together later on. Is I wanted to use them in sound effect production and do the kind of reverse cymbal sound effects. So let's take what we've got so far. Just going to trim this down inside Audition. So we know we've got our jingle bells, which are here and here. We can use them later. Very, very nice stuff. We don't really want that. Oh, clip clop. We might use that somehow later on. So I'm going to delete that part of it. So we could use the tubular bells in some way as well. Let's get that. That could also be good, so we'll take that, trimming this all up to size. And then we got the cymbals here, which I'm going to use in a different way. Keep showing me an alert because I'm actually deleting something that's in the multi-track. So you'll see I'm actually technically resizing that audio. You get the little warning symbol there to say, yes, something has happened here. What is that warning? It's the fact that the clip has been shifted out of sync due to a source media change. Whoa! Always nice to get a phone call. Hello, Music Radio Creative Live. You are on the air with myself, Mike Russell. Who's this?
Merry Christmas, Mike Russell and all of Music Radio Creative.
Oh, wow, that's rather good. I really like that. Who's this Santa Claus on the line?
It is the big guy calling from the North Pole. Just wanted to tell you I am completely enjoying the show today.
Oh, wow. Santa Claus himself. I'm honored, sir.
Well, you know, Mike, I have a special Santa offer for you if you'd like.
Go on, go ahead.
I'd be happy to break out my iPhone and record some actual sleigh bells from the sleigh if you'd like it.
Could you do that? Could you go to your personal sleigh on the North Pole? That would be wonderful. Wow.
Absolutely. And one more thing before I go, Mike. A little bit of an issue with you and Isabella. Last year, I noticed you cut back on the milk and cookies just a little bit, and I can't maintain this Santa waistline without the proper amount. So if you could work on a couple extra chocolate chips this year.
I'll certainly work it out for you, Santa. Anything for you, Santa. Milk and cookies will be on our list here in our household this year. I can guarantee you.
Love your show, Mike. You're the best.
Thanks, Santa. Thanks for calling.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. Amazing. Santa Claus himself listens and watches this show. I'm just stunned. Absolutely stunned. Wow. Maybe obviously Santa must have been watching the live stream right now from his epicenter in the North Pole. But Santa, I know you're very busy, you and Mrs. Claus. You can always download the podcast and catch up, especially when you're going around that busy night, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, delivering all those presents. Go subscribe to the podcast as well. mrc.fm/podcast. You see, we get everyone watching this show. Even Santa likes to know about audio production. Right, let's head over to the questions and answers, and let's take a look at what you've already been saying in the live chat, as it would be absolutely lovely to feature some of your questions here on the show. Let's have a look here. I love the snow going on behind me. It's feeling very, very festive indeed. So we've got, of course, David is saying, Merry Christmas to Santa. Merry Christmas indeed. A big Merry Christmas to you, Santa, and thank you for calling. We've got this question. Tomorrow, when you cover live streaming on OBS, could you also cover color grading with LUTs for live streaming? Ooh, that's a little bit outside of my my knowledge kind of repertoire, if you like. I will look into it. I'll see what I can find about that for you. I've done a little bit of that myself inside Premiere Pro when I've been editing videos there. Yeah, definitely. Good question for tomorrow. And if you've got any questions about OBS Studio you'd like me to cover maybe on the show tomorrow, I know there's a long thread already in the community. Just hop over there and leave a question. Thanks, Charlie DJ, for saying always a pleasure being on here. Yes, indeed, Mike Oldfield does love his tubular bells, David. Thank you for that. And by the way, thank you to the moderators who do a fantastic job, not only here in the live chat when they can make it into the live chat, but also over in the community. Vlaanderen, Radio Vlaanderen National. I think I got that right this time. Looking forward to a good one today. Lots of great chat here. Robert says, thanks for the help. IRN helped me, referring to the question he asked yesterday, looking for a kind of a feed or some kind of service that would provide an internet radio stream with an hourly news bulletin. And I suggested IRN, Independent Radio News. So glad that that helped you. Yeah, Facebook is still in mono. I can't believe Facebook still streams in mono, but oh well, there you go. Hello to Paige. Lovely to see you, Paige. Welcome along to the show. And who else have we got here? Lewis. Lewis Riviera. On the MRC website, I could always purchase production elements. I can't find them now. Let's look further at your question. I can't find on the MRC website where to select production elements. I know it had them once before. Are you talking about the actual production elements that go with a jingle that you produce? I can have a little quick look for you. Let's do that for you, Lewis, right now. So there are a couple of things you can do if you go to the MRC site. Let's just go over there now, musicradiocreative.com. So if you start creating some audio with our audio creator here, you pick a voice, so any voice you like. Let's pick Rebecca there. And if you type in a script, so a script like that, and then continue on to add production, you can then choose you want to include sound effects. You can leave notes for anything specific. The same with vocal effects. You can put them on a music. But I've got a feeling that Lewis may well have been referring to the actual production effects that I use in the show from time to time. There are some great production effects in the radio section and other sections as well under instant downloads. And if you go to SFX and music here in the submenu, you'll find all of the work parts we've got for sale here. We've got work parts we've even got Christmas work parts. Listen, have a quick listen to this demo.
Christmas work parts from Big Fish and Music Radio Creative. 113 music beds like this. Music Radio Creative.
So that's all very nice. Rock work parts, everything in here under instant downloads on the Music Radio Creative website. So you get the idea. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's hop back over here and I will show you what I was going to do with these cymbals. Let's copy these cymbals now. Copy and paste into a new audio file. Going to normalize them. And hang on, favorites, normalize. And then copy paste again. And I'm going to reverse them because there's nothing like a reversed cymbal when creating a nice Christmassy jingle. And what we could do with that reverse cymbal now sounds absolutely wonderful. Let's just save it so we know what it is into my downloads folder if possible. Downloads. And we'll call it reversed cymbals. WAV file as usual. And what I'm going to do now is just pop this onto track 2 that we've got available here. And we can kind of mix those reverse cymbals together. Let's pop out another track as well. New track, track 3 down there. And if I do something like this, we can kind of merge those cymbals together. Quite nice, isn't it? Although those are 2 different cymbals. Let's try this. A little bit of crossover there, so let's try and move this over a bit. It's always going to sound awkward, so actually I think the better way is to combine the reverse cymbal with a different cymbal from a different drum kit. Very nice. Let's see how this one works. And again, we can use these later on for Christmassy style sound effects. Some merges work better than others. Let's try another merge over here. That's quite nice. And let's use that. Let's place a cut there, move that over. No, I quite like those 2 reverse sounds, so let's chop them out and keep them. And then I can move something else glittery. Pop down another track here. No, I didn't really want that. It's the donkey sound effects. Let's go for something like this. Pop it in. So you can have some fun with that, make something rather magical. But we don't just need to finish there. This is just the start of things. Let's start another track recording here in the multi-track so we can go over and do a few more sound effects over in Logic. Something else I quite like and wanted to show you is if we go into Cinematic here in the bass directory and we pick ambient drones. I think it's ambient drones. Got some really cool stuff here, like pillars of light that could be quite cool for Christmas jingles. Or you could do something that kind of has a Christmas feel to it. So kind of logo, or if you know your station name, like if your station has a logo like Kiss 100, how does Kiss 100 go? Or Kiss 100's old logo. Oh yeah, like that. It's ECGG, which is Kiss 100, Kiss 100 London. I'm sure they've updated their jingles, but it used to be. So you could do something like that. That's maybe not the best instrument for it. Let's look at Still Moment. Oh, okay, so very Christmassy and North Pole-y. Sublime. And that's also, they use that logo a lot on the any kind of Kiss brand. It's usually Kiss FM, like that. Obviously you can tell I'm not one to sing. Let's go to Warm Waves. You can put in your jingle bells and your glitters as well. So really cool stuff inside Cinematic ambient drones for generating Christmas sound effects that you may want to use in your jingles and creations. So worth showing you that. Also, we can go here over into the Synthesizer base menu, arrangement effects, and there's a whole ton of cool stuff here for really just generally good sound design in general. It doesn't have to be Christmas, but you can do all kinds of things. Oh, and by the way, I can see, didn't get a sound notification for it, but I'm very, very grateful. I notice, and it's just up there in the chat, you can probably see a highlighted chat text there. Tim, thank you so much, Tim, for making a wonderful donation to the show via the Super Chat feature on YouTube, which you can access by hitting the $ below the chat box. Really, really grateful for that donation. Really helps to keep the show going. Tim, very, very grateful to you. And that is absolutely fantastic. Going to hop back into the live chat in just a moment and mention more of your chat, but I wanted to go through a few other things here. So yeah, arrangement effects, which you'll find inside Synthesizer, the Synthesizer base menu. You've got loads of cool stuff here for sound design like this. Kind of white noisy stuff. which is nice. Could be wind at the North Pole, couldn't it? Bike riser. Blaster downer. Very cool kind of sound design stuff here for imaging. Boomerang downer. Car alarm riser. Chord swell riser. Club siren. We're going a bit more progressive and trancey there, but there are some that are suitable, some not so. That's a good one. Underwater laser. Wavy riser. Maybe a little bit clubby there. And zippy builder. Yeah, very, very clubby, that one. But you get the idea. So we can stop recording that lot. Still got more to show you. In fact, I'm going to move to something different now because we've got enough kind of material in here. Let's go to favorites, normalize, and I'm just going to save all of this. So this was, we'll just call it Logic Christmas. Logic Christmas 1 and Logic Christmas 2. Those are the sound effects I've generated inside Logic. We've got the reverse cymbals, Logic Christmas 2. And I'm also going to go over and mix down those reverse cymbals that I created and quite liked. Mix down the time selection. Here are our lovely reverse cymbals. Nice and Christmassy. So you do something like this. You could do Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station. That kind of stuff. So nice Christmas drops you can create there. So reverse cymbal mixes. That's quite nice. Something else you can do solely in Adobe Audition that I really, really like. Let's try recording. Hello. Yes, are we recording? We are. Good stuff. Okay. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station. This is Christmas 2017. Happy Christmas. And we can have a go with the Santa Claus laugh as well. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Obviously that sounds like me, but we can have a little mess with that in the multi-track in just a second. So really cool feature in Adobe Audition, if you've never used it before, is in Filter and EQ. And you've got something called a notch filter. Before I start using it, though, I'm just going to normalize the audio here. And then I'm going to go into Effects, Filter and EQ, notch filter here. Let's start off at default. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station. Now, those of you that have sharp ears might have heard something going on, but when we start selecting some of these presets like Dreamy, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station. Isn't that funny? It's creating a kind of Christmas, ethereal Christmas sound just from certain frequencies in my voice, ever so slightly, in ever such a tiny way, being notched up by 24 dB. So that's quite a lot of increase. Let's go for the ice cream truck. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station. I just want to state again, there is no jiggery-pokery going on there. I've put no sound effects in the background. This kind of sound is just being created by the notch filter up at 25 dB. If I take it down a little bit, Merry Christmas, you'll hear it gets less and less. Merry Christmas. Or take the notches out. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You should be able to hear the frequencies that have come out of my voice that are being used to create that ice cream truck sound. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your... So fixed gain to 32 dB. Obviously you can untick that and you can do each gain individually, but that works quite well. Ultra quiet. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station. It's kind of almost like vocoding or modulating. You can change it from super narrow to very narrow. Merry Christmas or narrow. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And you see, as you go from super narrow to narrow, so essentially the notches are widening a little bit, you're getting more of a modulated sound. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You can actually hear the background stuff changing as you change the notch width. And you can see the frequencies here, 1000 Hz, 1333, 1500, 2000, 2666, and 3000. We could try and emulate this kind of effect also over in I've not tried to do this before, but it hit me that the parametric equalizer could do something like this too. If we set those frequencies all up, so what do we have? 1000, 1333, 1500, we had 2000, 2333, shall we say? 2666. Oh, 2666 and 3000. And let's see if we can do a fine grain notch on all of the. Whoa, maybe not on that one, because that is the low end, of course. So we'll go up here, and we just need to change the Q width right down to a notch. How far can we go? We can actually go really far. Look at that, really tiny. And you want to increase by at least 25 dB here. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So you can hear that having an effect there. So let's make those widths 100 on each of those. We don't want to do it on the L or the H, otherwise it will just raise the whole of the low or the high frequencies. Not what we're looking for. 25 dB increase on each, like so. Different kind of pattern. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favourite station. A little tinnier than the notch, so as you can see it's possible, and you've got master gain, we'll probably need to turn that down a bit. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favourite station. But it just so happens that the notch filter does a much better job, so we'll explore that in a little more detail in just a moment. But let's see, of course, what you have been saying over in the live chat, because I always love to feature you when you're saying something in the live chat. It's great to have you on. And I can see, for instance, that Ule is back. Hey, Ule! Welcome to the show. Ule, one of the moderators, the designer of this great lower third thing as well that features your questions, no matter where you're asking them. So great to see you, Ule. Sean King is saying, is Santa real? Of course Santa's real. I'm actually going to play with my own voice in a moment and make it sound like Santa, but nothing can imitate the man himself. So again, yeah, thank you so much, Tim, for the wonderful donation to the show. What else have we got? Sean says, I've angered Nightbot with a simple emoticon. Yeah, Nightbot doesn't like too many emoticons. Right, what else have we got? Lewis is definitely having some issues with volume, sound effects, and beds on the Music Radio Creative site. Maybe if Isabella's there, she can help out. Otherwise, do drop us a line, and we'll definitely hook you up, Lewis. So thank you for asking. Joe is watching in Caracas, Venezuela. New to audio editing, owns Adobe Audition CS6, which is the last version of Adobe Audition that Adobe produced before it went into the cloud monthly subscription model. I highly recommend Joe when you have the opportunity. You should consider upgrading. They've introduced so much goodness into the newest versions. So there you go. What else have we got here? Hobart Events, John Borum. If you have Adobe Audition 1.5, or 15 is that, Adobe Audition 1.5, I'd guess, you can get the update for CC 2018. Really? Oh, interesting. Oh, yes. So what have we got here? Mr. Mega Radio UK is in. What have I missed so far? We've been generating jingle bells. We've been generating reverse cymbals, tinkly things that sound really nice, ambient drones for Christmas, that kind of stuff that you can mix together and use in your own productions. So I hope that helps you. Juan, it's wonderful to see you back. Long time no see indeed. And welcome back to the show. Always good to have you here. What else have we got here? Thanks, David, for mentioning the Super Chat feature, or mrc.fm/donate if you'd like to donate and help the show. Yeah, really kind of you when you do that. I'm very, very grateful for it indeed. And you can watch this show anywhere online, YouTube, Facebook, just anywhere really that it's streaming. And I'm always pleased to entertain you or your questions. There are a few other questions and just comments coming in from Facebook Live as well. John is actually saying he's looking forward to the OBS show that I'm doing tomorrow, which is featuring OBS Studio for live streaming. Bit different to the usual audio stuff, but I hope that helps. Nice to see Joe Sami as well, moderating over on Facebook Live right now. Always love seeing how other people set up their software. Great to see you, Nepali, who's also watching on Facebook Live. Renato as well. Greetings from Portugal. David in Malta. Nice to see you all in one form or another across the different social networks. So let's hop back to this lovely notch filter that I've got going on. Hang on, let me give you a real close look at this. And you can see the stuff you can do here. So Ice Cream Truck, we've tried. Dreamy, very, very good presets. Weaponized Dissonance. Let's try that. Merry Christmas and a Happy New... Wow, really, really weird. Some of these are a bit weirder than others. A's and E's. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favourite station. That's really, really nice. And I just wonder, it would be wonderful if you could get just the result of the notch and not any of the voice at all. I'm not sure whether that is possible. Let's see how things are affected in... you can see how much of a change it's making to the waveform itself. But if we go to spectral frequency here, look at the frequencies that are introduced down here as a result of the notch filter. And I'm just wondering if I can isolate those frequencies. So let's have a look in here. Those frequencies that have kind of been enhanced down here. What I might need to do is... Yeah, you can kind of isolate them like this by highlighting them individually in spectral frequency using the marquee tool. So you can create your own jingle bells that way. Really, really cool, fun stuff to be able to do inside Adobe Audition. Lots of other cool stuff as well, and you can see how much of an impact it makes. Ho! Ho! And yeah, ho! Let's get on to Santa Claus, because I think Santa Claus needs to be created. So if I drag this in somewhere over here and pull that to voice processed, see we've got a little pitch line here that I can enable the pitch shifter and pull this down a little bit, like that. Christmas. Ooh, a little bit too low. Let's just have a play with that until we get it right.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho!
Let's move this up.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Zoom in a bit more and just fine-tune that a little bit.
Merry Christmas!
So it's that big, deep voice we're looking, if we want to imitate the voice of the man himself, Santa Claus. I might actually go on to the voice effects bus, add some studio reverb, pump that up quite a bit, increase the delay to over 5 seconds.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
And we can introduce some of the sound effects I was creating earlier to create that that lovely Santa sound. Let's drag those over, like so.
Merry Christmas!
Let's do kind of matching here of the clip loudness, so we don't... let's do that to -16 here.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
That works quite nicely. I can put in some of Santa's sleigh bells. And I was going to go back over to Logic and create some more interesting effects to use. So with this, what I'm going to do is take it and copy it, like so.
Ho, ho.
Copy another one there.
Ho, ho.
Let's try and get those tighter together.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Very nice. So sleigh bells, twinkles, and reverse cymbals. If you wanted to take what we've already got here, this sleigh bell, you can actually get a different sounding sleigh bell by pitching it, or pitching it up. Obviously, the further you pitch it, the more unnatural it will sound. But if you want to just change the sound of something, these were sound effects we recorded earlier. So I quite fancy mixing that white noise with... Let's see if we can find. So you could either take your radio station logo, or we could take a little tune that I played earlier and pop that together with this sound effect here, and get a kind of overall Christmassy sound. Probably need to do some matching of loudness, so I'll do that in just a moment. This was quite a good sound effect. Let's take this. Did I want to use that or that one? Let's try that one instead. Pop this over here. So we can have a nice powerful jingle here with some voiceover in. Let's match the clip loudness there, like so. That should make it all nice. And then I'm going to take a little bit of center and the rest of it.
From your favorite.
So we can put in something like this.
Merry Christmas.
Match clip loudness again.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station.
Let's turn that down a bit.
Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station.
We could actually take off that crazy notch filter so we get a pure voiceover. And I'm just going to pull this down a little bit and pull this onto the voice EQ channel.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station.
So you can have something like that, which is quite nice.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Or maybe actually bring that in as soon as I start saying Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from your favorite station.
And then to end that off, a little bit of reverb on it. So let's see.
Station.
Let's see if we can do some nice reverb on that. That last one there. So that it ends nicely. Pull that down. That's it. And we want to put a bit of reverb on there to just kill it off nicely. Oh, not too nice. Pull the high frequency. That's better. Something like that. Maybe a little more high frequency there and fading that last one off. So there you go. You can end it with a little bit of harsh reverb, things like that. Really, really fun stuff to do, all in the multi-track of Audition using the sound effects we've already generated. If I wanted to go in and record some more, I could just head over into Logic and do that. In fact, I will do that in just a moment, but I do think it is worth taking a look at the questions you're asking as we're getting to 43 minutes into the show right now. Oh, coffee break. We'll be right back. No, that's better. Back into this view. And I should say before I get into the Q&A again, do always remember there is a possibility to call this live stream right now. If you have an audio question on your mind that you'd like answered, I'll do my best to help you out. Or if I don't know the answer, find the answer for you. This is the phone number to call the show live.
415-800-1055.
Remember to check how much it's going to cost you. It's like a call to the US. Just add +1 if you're outside there.
MusicRadioCreative.com.
That's right, it's Music Radio Creative.
Mike Russell is controlling transmission.
Indeed I am. There are my robot voices, which, if you caught the live stream yesterday, you would have learned how to create all those fun and funky robot voices. So many of them that you can use. Right, let's just have one more jingle and we'll look at your Q&A.
Your audio production hour starts now. Music Radio Creative.
Not really. Doesn't really start now, but anyway.
Audio guru is here. He knows Adobe Audition in and out and is here to help you out. Mike Russell.
All right, Praise Worship is asking, how do you do the lower third graphics in the live stream like this, I'm guessing? Well, this is a very special creation of Ule, who you will have seen in the live chat on YouTube today. A fantastic developer based in Norway. Writes a lot of really cool Adobe Audition CC extensions, so go and check them out. But yeah, if you want to get the code that does things like this, that will show Q&A, it's actually available for you right now. I believe the short URL is mrc.fm/questions. Let me just check it. I think it is mrc.fm/questions, and that'll take you over to GitHub, where you will find everything that you're looking for to do something that looks like, hang on, can I hold it? Something that looks like that. But if you're wondering how to create a lower third like this, then you'll want to go to somewhere like videohive.net, where you can download templates that work with After Effects. But I'm so excited to tell you it's getting easier to generate things like those lower thirds that you've just seen, the one you've just seen whoosh here in front of me. There's something known as a Mogart or Mogart template available now in Adobe Premiere Pro. I did briefly use it a couple of weeks ago on my live stream, but I must do some more videos on it. Mogart is essentially short for Motion Graphics Template, and you can do it all inside Premiere Pro, no After Effects knowledge needed, and using the Essential Graphics panel, which is kind of similar to Essential Sound in Audition. Essential Sound was generated for those who don't know much about audio and just want to achieve good results without needing to know loads. So Essential Graphics is that for Premiere Pro. And if you dive into it, it's really not too difficult to start creating your own lower thirds, animations, zooms in and out, fades, transitions, all of that stuff in Premiere getting much easier thanks to the team who are behind designing the Mogart templates, .morgt. Check it out. I think I got that right. Let me try and type it into the live chat box so you know what I'm talking about. M-O-G-R-T. That's what I'm talking about. Templates. I'll type that into the chat for anyone who wants to look it up, including you, Praise Worship, and hopefully that will help you out. Another question, if you're a non-profit or charity, you can get Adobe Creative, it's not a question so much as a statement, you can get Adobe Creative Cloud at a reduced price in the USA, possibly in the UK too. So yeah, if you're a charity, that may well be a good solution. Hey, Paul Orr, nice to see you there. Watching from Tennessee. Love the show, says Paul. Thanks, Paul. Really cool indeed. What else have we got? Yeah, a lot of people talking about upgrading their versions of Adobe Audition. Ule suggesting that yes, after I think John from Hobart Events asked, upgrading from Adobe Audition CC 2015 is just fine, but make sure you back up session files and things like that. I got a friend recently who decided to make the upgrade, I think from version 3.0 up to CC, and a bit of an issue converting SES files to SESX files, which are obviously the new standard for multi-track sessions. I think that they downloaded the SES to SESX converter, which is available in the Adobe Extension Store, but they said they couldn't get it to work. So if any of you watching now know anything about that, I know SES files are probably nearly a decade old now, and maybe Ule knows, watching now, how to do that. But yeah, if you're upgrading CC or CS6 or 5.5, it should be okay in general. Joe says, hello everyone, I'm back on YouTube. Yeah, Joe is been hopping between Facebook Live and YouTube. Greatly appreciate what you do to moderate, Joe. Also David Silk, Ule today as well. Christmas time soon, says Juan. Yes, indeed, it will be Christmas time soon. I can't believe where this year is going. Crazy stuff. What else have we got? Yes, indeed, the ho 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 was me, Joe. Crazy, I know, but it was. Pitched down just a little bit to help you out. Do I live in the US now? It's a question. No, I don't live in the United States. I live in the UK on a little island called the Isle of Wight. And if you want to get there, go down in England about as far south as you can go in the middle bit, and then get on a ferry for an hour, and you're on the Isle of Wight. And it really is a wonderful place. So I highly recommend visiting at some point. Anyway, there we go. That's your question and answers for the moment. Let's see whether we can quickly get back in and maybe do a little bit more in Logic. There were a few other bits and bobs that I wanted to show you. Instruments that you can use to generate your own Christmas sound effects. The most important thing to remember, of course, is creating those jingle bells and bits like that. But if we go over here, there is a whole bell selection here. And some of them I found to be the best. Actually, my favourite from the bells here was this one. Chimera bells. So those are chimera bells, very, very nice indeed. I also found delicate bells to be quite nice. So you got delicate bells there. Other interesting bells that I recommend using, from Logic at least, broken bells, they were quite good. You've also got cathedral bells. Although a little bit heavy, I might suggest. Magical bells over here. Really, really nice. And finally, odd bells. Almost. Odd bells. What else have we got? Otherworldly oceans. Nice Christmas chord there for you. And finally, splatter tables excited me. And the fact that you've got that little decay on there. So go and have a play. Lots of them using different synthesizers, like the ES2 being used here. Very good synthesizer in general. Create some amazing bells. You might want to have a play with some of these settings yourself to create your own Christmas-style bells. Just going into a preset here in Logic and then editing it as you'd like, and maybe taking off or adding on things like the delays, limiters to create your own specific unique bells. But the main and most important thing is definitely get into percussion, producer kits, not producer kits, percussion. Was it percussion? No, it was orchestral, wasn't it? Orchestral, the one above. And you want to go to percussion, orchestral kit, amazing stuff for generating all of your sleigh bells using the ESX 24 synthesizer there, which is really, really nice stuff. That's somehow coming through there. Yeah, really, really good fun. So have some fun with it. Do some mixing and matching over here in Adobe Audition. Use the notch filter and bits like that. Plenty you can do. Pitch shifting as well to create Santa's voice. I might just spend the last few minutes, we've only got a few minutes left, just to answer any questions. Do a free sort of an open little section. So if you've got any questions you wanted to ask right now as I'm live streaming, then I am happy to answer your questions live on the show. Just stick a question in wherever you happen to be watching live, and remember to share this channel if you're finding benefit from watching and you think someone else you know would like to watch as well. youtube.com/musicradiocreative. That's the place to find this show on a regular basis, Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. UK time.
This is Mike Russell from musicradiocreative.com.
And of course, do not miss out on the forthcoming shows. Just to do another tease on what we got coming up in the future. Obviously today, how to create Christmas sound effects you've seen in both Logic and Adobe Audition. Tomorrow is my OBS studio tutorial, the best settings and my guide to using it. Later on in the week, EQ for audio mixing and music bed editing for radio too, coming up on the show.
Audio production and more. This is Mike Russell on musicradiocreative.com.
Music Radio Creative. Dum dum dum.
And there is also the community you can take part in and join in with as well over at community.musicradiocreative.com. That's community.musicradiocreative.com. I might spend some time going through some of the questions that have come in there, unless you've got any other questions you'd like to ask on the chat room for the rest of this show, as there are always a ton of questions to answer over on the community. And I noticed something relevant to today's show, actually, is this posting here, which is in from Gag Prime, recording sounds into Adobe Audition from Logic, which is what I've been doing today. Is there a way I can record Logic sounds directly into Adobe Audition? Mike did it in one of his live streams, so how do you do it? And I did post an answer there with a tutorial as well, because I noticed Cat Prime's got a Focusrite Sapphire Pro 14, I believe, which has a wonderful loop back feature. So if you get an audio interface that has its own loop back, you're laughing, you just need to route the loop back channels into Adobe Audition, and that's how it's done. couple of ways you can do it over here in the multi-track. First of all, you can do it globally by going into your Audition preferences here, choosing audio hardware first of all. Make sure you've got the correct input and output. So I've got my mixing desk selected, and then you can choose recording, at the moment analog 3, which is a mono mic channel. But if I wanted to record from my computer, 9 and 10 would be the correct channels for me. Usually if you've got a loop back, it would say something like, Focusrite Sapphire Pro 14, Loopback 1 and Loopback 2. So you know that if you add those as your inputs and start recording, you're going to start recording whatever you hear from the computer. You can do it on a more granular basis here in the multi-track. So as you can see, I know that stereo channels 9 and 10 are my loopback on my mixing desk. But also I could say over here on channel 2, I want to arm this track to record, and I want to record mono analog 3, and you'll see, hello, 1, 2. That's my microphone. So I can record microphone and jingle bells over there on different channels. You can have lots of different inputs going on across the board here in Adobe Audition. So really, really cool thing to get into. Although you do get a little bit of echo back. Ooh, weird. When you've got the tracks armed for recording. So just be aware of that. But absolutely fantastic question to ask. David Lewis says, Mike, I asked earlier about auto ducking. Used for the first time last night. It's great, but it seems you have to match clip volumes first. Is that right? Not necessarily. It might help you layering things up if, like, say, for instance, your music is much louder than your voiceover. Absolutely, matching clip volumes is brilliant. I assume, David, that you are referring to the new ducking available in Essential Sound. If so, that's done by an algorithm or artificial intelligence, Adobe Sensei. Really, really cool technology and seems to work well for most of you. Although I have heard a couple of comments from others saying that they prefer still using a sidechain because it's kind of more reactive, whereas the ducking in Essential Sound seems to duck based on the loudness of the audio and is not necessarily always picking the parts that you want. Sidechaining it's literally like pushing against a compressor at the right points. So ducking, hopefully, again, at the right points. So hopefully that helps you out there, David, with your question. Back over into the community. Do go and join up, by the way, if you haven't done so already, at community.musicradiocreative.com. See a news thread there reply there from Ule just recently. We've had all kinds of stuff in here. Somebody even asked if there is a plugin to convert British accents into American accents. Unfortunately not. I did do an April Fool on that many years ago, but nothing in particular. Lots of helpful people, though, over in the community. Got a secret group there as well for users of my Adobe Audition presets. Every so often I'll release an upgrade or a new feature for the very presets that I use on a daily basis to create audio here at Music Radio Creative, to create real orders that go out to clients. So if you're interested in grabbing that template for yourself, finding out the settings I use and how I use them, how I've got it all set up, mrc.fm/presets to go there and get yourself involved. Lots of people sharing their projects as well, the stuff they've been working on recently, and I'm absolutely honoured to hear some of the good stuff that's coming in. Here's a branded intro that Lewis created recently. Really like this.
When we were writing Want You Back, it was like a much slower song. Some things are long forgotten. And so we kind of did the classic like songwriting trick of like, is the tempo right and is the key right? And so we're like, the key seems right, but the tempo seems...
Let's bring it up like 40 BPMs.
Some things are long forgotten.
Straight into the song. What a cool way to do a power intro rather than the typical station name, having the actual artist, singer-songwriters describing how they made the track. Fantastic work there, Lewis. So community.musicradiocreative.com. And just before I go, by the way, if you find this information handy and you'd like to book a one-on-one with me to learn more about audio, go to mrc.fm/coaching. Still got a few spots left for the rest of November. We'll be shutting it down pretty pretty soon, though, as time's getting very busy for the rest of November. Might have a few slots available again in December. But if you'd like to book that 1 hour, and I can help you with anything from voice settings to personalized Adobe Audition templates or anything you're struggling with to make your audio sound better, I would love to work one-on-one with you. And you can access that product over at mrc.fm/coaching. Have a fantastic Tuesday and rest of your week. And I'll be back tomorrow from 2 p.m. UK time for Music Radio Creative Live.